hopefully your technology is now all set and you're beginning to find yourself settling in to your seat. I'm really glad that you took the time to come to class tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda McIntire, and this is the OLLI Beginning Yoga class. And this is an offering through the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute through UVM's Continuing and Distance Education. And they've been providing this opportunity for free all summer to folks. So welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're new to class, I'm really glad that you're joining me. Let's see, we've got 3 classes left, including this class. And starting in September, we will be going to a different format on Wednesdays. So if you're interested in continuing, it's still going to be an online sort of a format, but it'll be done through Teams. So go onto the OLLI website, register in advance, check out what other offerings there are going on this fall. I really hope that you can join me, but we'll be switching to Wednesdays in September. This class is a class that is for you, and it's a do what you can kind of a class. So if you need to be really just taking it easy tonight, do that. If you need to be holding postures longer, going more deeply into postures, do that. If you know that you need to be using blocks, and I'm not suggesting it, but you have some nearby, go for it. Really make this practice your own. Use your own body wisdom. So if something's feeling a little bit cranky tonight, acknowledge that and be kind. So I'm really glad that you're here. As I was putting the class together, it was one of a myriad of all kinds of things that I was doing over the weekend, and perhaps your weekend was similar. I was jamming in all kinds of stuff, fun stuff, difficult stuff, stuff I have to get done, stuff I want to get done, in part because maybe you've noticed, but it seems like the days are getting a little bit shorter. So it's a little darker when we get up in the morning. It's getting darker a little bit sooner. And so traditionally this time of year, we're all trying to, jam more into our days, into our evenings, into our weekends, to get these last bits of summer, while also having all these other kinds of just life stuff going on with getting kids ready to go back to school or getting ready for fall, whatever that might look like for you. And I know that a lot of us have been doing a really great job recognizing the need to be kind and gentle with others, especially right now when there's lots of stress going on for everybody. But I wonder, as we're doing all these things, jam-packing in all kinds of good stuff and challenging stuff and coordinating the pieces of our lives, is how gentle are we being with ourselves? And some of us are really good at being gentle with ourselves. And so I always try to gravitate towards those folks, because I'm not by nature a real gentle kind of a person. I'm loving and caring and all kinds of things, but gentle is not necessarily one of the words that would be used to describe me. And that's not a bad thing. That's just part of who I am. And so some of us are really good at being gentle and with ourselves, and others of us, it takes a little bit more of a practice. This yoga thing that we do is a mind-body connection, right? So being gentle in the mind looks like positivity. It looks like being encouraging to yourself, letting go of any expectations that you might have. Gratitude is also a really great way to really be gentle with yourself, especially when things become challenging in the mind. In the body, being gentle can look like doing modifications in the yoga practice, using a blanket, using blocks, connecting with the gentle flow of your breath. But also in the body is, body wisdom, which I had touched on, but also this recognizing subtle tension that we are holding in our bodies and trying to let go of some of that as well. So, good news. No pressure tonight, because tonight we're going to go through a gentle practice, both in the body and in the mind. And I will offer up some suggestions to you as we go through for ways that maybe you can think about being a little bit more gentle with you. But a lot of it is up to you. So making sure that you're aware of how your body is feeling as we go through the practice, where your mind is going, recognizing those things and then adjusting accordingly. But as you know, I'll help you along the way, and all you need to do is the best that you can. So be gentle, be kind, and let's begin by finding a comfortable seat, whatever that might look like for you during our class today. And make sure that whatever you're sitting on, that you have the weight evenly distributed between both of your hips. So currently, I'm sitting on a block like this one, and I have a blanket over it. You can be sitting directly on your mat, on a block, a blanket, whatever you like. And you can have your legs crossed like I do, or you can find something that's a little bit more gentle on your body if you find this is maybe doesn't feel as good on your hips or on your low back as you'd like. So bending the knees and placing the feet flat on the floor is an option. Extending the legs, exploring the height of your hips. But wherever you're at, your weight is evenly distributed on both sides. And you're sitting up in a nice, tall seat. See if you can extend the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, keeping your chin parallel to the floor. Let your shoulders be relaxed down on your back. Hands are on your knees or thighs as you sit up nice and tall in this seat. And then close your eyes or bring them to a soft gaze. And allow yourself to arrive in class on your mat. And see if you can let go of the day, let go of anything outside of the space that you're in, outside of this moment that we're in, that you can just set aside while you focus on this gentle yoga practice for yourself today. Begin to connect with your breath as you inhale through the nostrils, sitting up taller and brighter with every inhale. As you exhale, taking your time, breathing out, still through the nose, letting the chest fall and the belly pull in. Just do your best to take some full, steady rounds of breath here. Keeping in mind this idea of being gentle. Are you being gentle in your breath? Or are you finding that you're trying really hard to do it just right? Maybe let go of that notion of perfection. Just settle into gentle. This yoga practice is intended for us to create a better connection to ourselves so that we can feel better when we're interacting in the world around us. So you'll notice that I talked about all of these things that we've got going on, that we're trying to do right now. And notice I didn't say don't do those things or stop doing those things. If you can, that's great. But oftentimes that's not a possibility. And so tonight is about inviting you to try to approach things in maybe a more gentle sort of a way. Can you be gentle and still get it done? I think so. Check in with your posture here. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall and present in this seat. Bring your palms together in prayer position in front of your heart, still sitting up nice and tall. And we'll begin our practice tonight by chanting the sound of Om together. We're going to just chant it one time. You can chant it as softly or as loudly as you would like. But think about chanting it gently tonight. So being soft as the sound comes through your esophagus and out the lips. Being kind to your lungs so that maybe rather than expressing every little bit of air, you save a little bit of reserves. So we'll do one gentle Om together. Take a full exhale. And a deep inhale for Om. Notice if that Om felt different than other Oms that you've done in the past. And if not, no worries. Just check it out. Keep breathing and sitting up nice and tall. Release your hands down to your knees or thighs and taking your time, gently let your eyes flutter open. Let the light back in. And keep sitting up nice and tall. So that means that the shoulders are gently on the back and that the ribs and belly are tucked. So do your best to avoid pinching the shoulders on the back. Sometimes there's a tendency to really want to pull them back. But see if you can gently keep the shoulder blades back there. Nice. And then we're going to alternate bringing each shoulder forward for some shoulder rolls. So left shoulder comes forward, right shoulder comes forward. Nice. And then we'll reverse direction. So we're alternating each shoulder going back, left shoulder, right shoulder. Be gentle here. You can go as quickly or as slowly as you would like. Nice. And then come to stillness with the shoulders. Hands are still on your knees or thighs. Gently tip your right ear towards the right shoulder. Keep both shoulders square to the front of the mat, and then taking your time, gently begin to drop the chin down towards your chest, keeping the spine and neck nice and long as you work your way over to the left side. And then once you reach the left, we'll work our way back over to the right gently, slowly, breathing fully and completely. Nice. And then bring your head back to center. Check in with your seated posture here in Sukhasana or easy pose. Make sure the spine is nice and long and that you're being gentle as you find some abdominal engagement. Extend your arms out by your sides with the palms facing straight ahead. On an inhale, float the fingertips up. Take a look up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, press the palms down towards the floor. Bring the chin towards the chest as you look down. Inhale, gently sweep the arms up. Fingertips lift, gaze lifts. Exhale and sweep the hands back down. Drop the chin. Inhale, reach the arms back up. And then this time, pause up at the top. If you can, take a look up towards the ceiling, which is the direction your fingertips are going. If you find that that doesn't feel good in your neck or you feel a little queasy or dizzy, you can always take a look straight ahead towards me, or you can change it up. Stomach is tucked in, your shoulders are relaxed. And then just create some gentle fists, so nothing intense, just a little gentle fist, and create some circles through the wrists here. And reverse direction with your circles. And remember, we're being gentle, so if you're like, I have shoulder problems, my arms should not be up above my head, come to stillness with the hands, spread the fingers wide. You can always have your arms down by your sides, or straight ahead of you, or out to the sides. Find something in this practice that works. Stretch the digits across the palm, so pointer finger, thumb, middle finger, etc. We're going to stretch the fingers. Again, nice and gentle. Reach the fingers wide. Bring the palms together overhead. Exhale and bring your hands to your heart, still sitting up nice and tall. Nice job. From here, extend your legs straight out in front of you for staff pose or Tadasana. I'm going to remove my block from beneath me and just sit on the blanket. this time around. Your choice. Legs are straight out in front of you. Feet are flexed. Hands are down on either side of the hips as you sit up nice and tall. Now, if you need to have a bend in the back of the knees, do that. Be gentle with your hamstrings, with your low back. Inhale to float the arms up overhead. Take a look up towards the ceiling once again. As you look up towards the ceiling, bring some softness to the face, including your brow and your jaw. Relax through the throat. And on an exhale, gently hinge at the hips and fold forward, releasing your hands wherever is comfortable. So maybe it's the floor, maybe you can reach your toes or your shins, but sit up nice and tall here as we're folding forward. Paschimottanasana, nice long spine. And then gently bring the torso back up. Nice. Place your left foot on the floor so that the knee is bent. And then we're going to bend the right knee in. Actually, scratch that. Extend the left leg out. We're going to bend the right knee in and lift the right foot off of the floor. I've got my hands behind the back of my right thigh. Both feet are flexed. Now I'm going to point and flex my right foot. Keep sitting up nice and tall. Cool. All right, come to stillness with the foot. Spread the toes really wide. Like, how wide can you spread the toes? Do you have any control over your toes at all? And if you don't, that's okay. We're just checking it out here. Flex and point the toes, and then we're going to do some circles with the foot. So use your big toe to try to draw a circle or an oval or something. Switch directions. And doing that gets into the ankle and starts to relax the foot. All right, nice job. Come to stillness with the foot. You can lower that back down and we'll switch sides. So right leg is extended out, bend the left knee in, bring the hands behind the thigh to help prop it up here. Nice. Both feet are flexed, and then we'll start pointing and flexing the left foot. And this is your opportunity to stretch the top of the foot. Be really kind to your shins. All right, come to stillness with the foot and then start spreading the toes wide. See if you can just get some movement in the toes. And with practice, sometimes you can actually get more toe control. So maybe we can explore that another time. Point and flex the foot a little bit more. All right, then we'll do some circles. So try to make some sort of a circular motion with the big toe to get into the ankle. And reverse direction. And you might notice that this is a little bit, might be creaky or a little rickety or not a circle at all. Keep practicing. You might find that you get a little more smooth. Nice. Come to stillness with the foot and release it back down. Keep sitting up nice and tall. With your left hand, reach towards the right leg. And it's your choice. If you can reach towards the pinky toe, go for it, but your shin or your calf is just fine. As we inhale, we're going to reach the right arm behind for a twist. So both legs are extended out straight. Your left hand can be by your foot, your shin, or your thigh as you twist the right arm behind you. Unwind back to center, and then we'll switch sides. And this side might be totally different. So right hand can come to the pinky toe, the shin, or the thigh. And as you inhale, you'll sweep the left arm behind you as you twist to the left, seeing if maybe you can even look over the left shoulder. But remembering that we're trying to be gentle here tonight. So are you finding that you're trying to twist as deep as you possibly can? Would it be a little more gentle for you to back off a little bit? Exhale and unwind back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together. For Cobbler Pose, hands come to the ankles or shins as you sit up nice and tall. And gravity decides how close the knees get to the floor. So keep your hips nice and level, sit up nice and tall. A little bit of a back bend. So look up towards the ceiling, broaden through the chest. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, leading with the heart. We're going to fold forward. That's going to really get you into the hips and inner thighs. And once you can't go any further, free your hands. Let the shoulders round. Let yourself curl inward. And remember to be gentle here. Walk your hands in as your torso comes back up. Using your hands, gently guide the knees together, and then scoot around so that you're in a tabletop position on all fours. This is a great opportunity to cushion your knees if you have tender knees or if your knees are tender today. We're going to line up the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Little bit of engagement in the lower belly so that you have a nice flat low back. On an inhale, drop the belly, drop the chest, and look up towards the sky. On an exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the low back, round the middle back, round the shoulders, tuck the chin. Cat pose. Inhale, tip the tailbone, drop the belly, drop the chest. Cow pose. Exhale, press into the hands as you tuck the tailbone. Pull the navel in towards the spine as the shoulder blades press up towards the ceiling. And just do a couple more of these in your own time and in your own breath. Being gentle, looking for movement in the spine. After your next exhale, which is cat pose, come back to a neutral spine, flat back. On an inhale, float your right fingertips up. Exhale, sweep the right hand in front of you. Inhale and float the right arm back up. Exhale, sweep the arm in front of you. Inhale and reach the right arm back up. Release your right hand down to the floor, and maybe you need to adjust a little bit here. Try moving your left hand a little bit more underneath your shoulder if you found you were having difficulty accessing. Inhale to reach the right fingertips up. Exhale, sweep the hand in front. We're trying to get movement into the thoracic spine, space in the lungs. We'll do one more round. Exhale, sweep the hand in front. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up, and then lower your right hand down to the mat. And we'll switch sides. So right hand is connected to the floor. As you inhale, sweep the left fingertips up. And then sweep the left hand in front of the right. Inhale and lift. Exhale, sweep the hand. Know that you can always move the right hand if you need it more underneath the shoulder or more out in front of you. Exhale, sweep the left hand in front of the right. Inhale, fingertips up towards the sky. One more time. Exhale, sweep the left arm. Inhale and reach the left fingertips up for a twist. And lower the left hand back down to the mat. On an exhale, move your hips back towards your heels, coming into a child's pose. Reaching your fingertips up towards the top of the mat, finding length in the spine. And be really gentle with your body here. So check in with yourself. This is meant to be a pretty passive and comfortable posture. So if you're finding that you're putting a lot of effort in here or it's not comfortable, see if you can gently improve it for yourself. Maybe that means walking your hands in towards your body a little bit more to relax the shoulders, or moving your hips up a little bit higher so that you have a wider angle behind your knees. Feel free to adjust here, thinking about being gentle and creating length in the spine. On an inhale, come back up to all fours in a tabletop position. Walk your toes back just a little bit. On an inhale, press your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So hands are shoulder width apart or wider, feet are hips distance apart. And then pedal the feet out. So alternate bringing each heel a little bit closer to the floor, finding some movement in the hips, just gently working our way up the body from the feet to the knees to the hips. Nice. And then come to stillness with the feet. Walk your hands back towards your feet so that you end up at the back of your mat in a forward fold. Your feet are hips distance apart and parallel. You're folded forward at the hips. Your knees are as straight as they can be, but if you need to have a bend in them, do have a bend. Grab opposite elbows here. Relax the head. Let the crown of your head point towards the floor. Feel your feet rooted into the mat. Get some engagement in the legs so that you're hugging in at the inside of the shins while engaging through the thighs. Staying nice and strong in the legs, just gently let the upper body rock from side to side and ragdoll. And then come to stillness. Release the elbows. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Come all the way up, arms up overhead. Exhale and bring your hands to heart center. Nice. Check out where you are at the back of your mat and find mountain pose or Tadasana once again. So feet or hips distance apart and parallel. Blanket out of your way. Lots of action in the legs, so engagement through the legs. Hands are on the hips, strong and steady in the core. Arms are down by your sides, really gentle through the shoulders. Inhale and float your arms up. Take a look up towards the sky. Bring your left hand to your left hip and stand up nice and tall. Check it out. Are you still in mountain pose here? Are the ribs tucked? Is your belly nice and strong? Is your spine long? All right, inhale to get a little taller. As you exhale, we're going to arch over towards the left side. Turn your head to take a look down at the floor on the left side of you. Make sure your right foot especially is still pressing into the floor and that you're not shifting the weight. And turn your head so that you're looking straight ahead, maybe towards me. And then turn your head up towards the lifted hand if your neck allows. Exhale to come back through center. Find mountain pose again, nice and tall and strong. Inhale and gently sweep the arms up overhead. Relax the shoulders on the back and tuck the belly in. Bring your right hand to your right hip. And again, stand up nice and tall here. Inhale to find length. And then exhale to arch over to the right side. Do your best to keep your shoulders and hips in alignment. Turn the head to take a look down at the floor. But be gentle here. So if this head turning thing really doesn't work for your neck, keep looking straight ahead or wherever works best for you. Turn and look straight ahead towards me. And then if you can, up towards the lifted hand, keeping lots of space between your ears and shoulders. Inhale and come back to center. Stand up nice and tall. Bring your hands together in a reverse prayer position behind your back. I'll demonstrate it here. And we're being gentle. So if you can bring your palms together, that's great. If only the fingertips connect, that's great. If you're like, wow, that does not work in my chest, arms, whatever it might be, maybe it looks something more like an upside down prayer, maybe with the fingertips connected. So find some version of this that works for you in mountain pose. And in this posture, the intention is that you're getting some opening through the chest, maybe some opening through the upper arms. But stand up nice and tall. And then a little bit of a back bend. So take a look up towards the sky. Stay soft in the throat, gentle in your eyes. Exhale to come back to center. Release the hands and sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way forward. See if your legs can be a little bit straighter this time than they were last time. And we're going to go into a deep forward fold. So let your weight pour into your feet. Keep the legs active. Let the head relax. And your hands can either be connected to a block, to the floor. If you're feeling really open tonight, maybe you can take your arms and reach behind your legs, grabbing your fingers or your wrists. But remember, the intention here is to be really gentle. So maybe that means you need to bend your knees a little bit more. Or relax the back of your head so that the crown is more pointed towards the floor. If you're holding on to the hands behind the legs, release that. And then bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Come on up. Connect the palms. Exhale and bring your hands to heart center. Nice. Find mountain pose again here at the back of the mat. Inhale and float the fingertips up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and swan dive all the way forward. You're going to walk yourself forward to plank, top of a push-up. If you need to come down to your knees first, that's fine. Find the most gentle way to get yourself into this plank. We're lining up the shoulders over the wrists, legs are straight. Your heels are lifted, so you're on your toes here. And maybe getting into plank is really a physical challenge for you. Plank is a demanding posture, so good for you for putting this effort in. For others of us, plank can also be a mental challenge. Oh, why are my arms shaking right now? I should be stronger than this. I used to be able to do this. Or, oh, I'm so awesome at this, I can't even believe it. I love the last one, by the way, when you're really being encouraging to yourself. If you find that you're starting to think negatively or not as encouraging as you should be, do your best to try to turn that around a little bit. If you do, I won't talk as long during plank. All right, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice job. Steady breath. Pedal the feet out, alternating, bending the knees, bringing each heel a little bit closer to the floor. And then come to stillness with the legs. Walk your feet up towards your hands so that you're at a forward fold at the top of your mat. Hands can be connected to the floor, blocks, your shins. Your thighs can be a nice place to connect here. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide as you come all the way up. Exhale and bring your hands to your heart. Nice job. Release that, and you're going to step the right foot back for warrior one. So I'm starting in mountain pose. Right foot steps back, not quite as much as we do for warrior two. And you'll notice my feet, I've got one foot, my left foot's pointing straight ahead. My right foot is at about a 45-degree angle, and my feet are hips width apart. So we've got the feet. You're going to bend into the front knee, and we're aligning the front knee with the front ankle. So if you find your knee is going over the ankle, you might need to scoot your right foot back a little bit more. Both feet are totally connected to the mat, so we're not lifting any heels here like we often do in Crescent Warrior. Release your arms down by your sides. Get really open through the right hip and through the chest. And then inhale to float the arms up overhead, connecting the palms, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And you can either connect the palms together, or if that's not comfortable, maybe fingertips feels better for you. A little bit of a back bend. Take a look up towards the ceiling. Bring the shoulders more on the back. Come back to center. And then release your hands. We're going to bring them into that reverse prayer position behind your back, whatever worked for you. So maybe it's with your fingertips pointing up towards your head, or maybe your fingertips are pointing towards the floor. But nice open chest here. And on an exhale, you're going to follow the chest onto the inside of the bent knee as you lean forward for humble warrior. So torso goes on the inside of the bent leg. Hands are in some sort of a reverse prayer position behind your back. And you're super strong in the legs, hugging in at the thighs here, strong in the belly. Press into your feet and come on up to standing. Release the hands. Kick off the back foot and come on up to the top of your mat. Shake it out a little bit. Find your mountain pose, and we'll do the other side. So left foot steps back. Again, a much shorter stance than we have for warrior two. Back foot's at 45 degrees. Front foot is pointing straight ahead. Feet are hips width apart, so notice my feet are almost at the edges of the mat. You're going to bend into the front knee. The back leg is straight, and you might need to scoot your back leg back a little bit so that we can align the front knee with the front ankle. Get strong in the legs, strong in the core. Shoulders relaxed on the back. Release your arms down by your sides. Check in with your breath. Now your breath knows how gentle you're being. And if you're struggling for breath, that's a little reminder for you to back off and be a little more gentle. Inhale to float the arms up overhead. Connect the palms. If you can look up towards the hands, go for it. If not, that's okay. Lots of space between the ears and the shoulders as you gently arch back. Keep bending into the front knee. Inhale to come back to center. Release your arms down by your sides. And then once again, little reverse prayer situation behind the back. Whatever works for you tonight in this posture. Stay strong and steady in the legs. Gently on an exhale, bring the torso on the inside of the bent knee. And your version of this humble warrior may be more of a diagonal line with the torso, or maybe you're bending all the way forward. Do what works best for you. How can you do this posture and be gentle in your body and in your mind? Strong and steady in the legs. Come on up. Nice. Bring your hands to your hips. Kick off the back foot and come on up to the top of your mat. Stand with your feet wider than hips distance apart. Be nice and soft in the knees here. Relax your arms down by your sides and don't move your arms at all. Just let them be like dead weight. Be soft in the knees, so a little soft bend. And we're going to start moving the hips. And it might help to lift your heels as you do that. We're moving just the hips and the arms. Notice my arms are just kind of going along with the momentum of the body. So this is empty coat sleeves. This is meant to be a gentle massage. Gentle twist for the body to reset. Let your hands and body make a connection here. Nice. And then release the effort and let it unwind back to center. Find yourself up at the top of your mat once again in mountain pose. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge the hips and fold all the way forward. Inhale up halfway to a flat back, bringing your hands on your thighs, tucking in the elbows. Nice long spine here. See how straight you can get the backs of your legs in this posture. Exhale to hinge at the hips and fold forward. See how straight you can get the backs of the knees. And then bend the knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Come all the way up. Exhale and hands come to heart center. If you have blocks tonight, grab a hold of one to have up at the top of your mat. If you don't have a block, totally fine. Don't worry about it at all. If you have something that's a comparable size to a block, you can grab it, like a little step stool or something, or an encyclopedia. But if not, no worries. Find yourself in mountain pose at the top of your mat. And then very gently, step your right leg back for Warrior Two. And in this Warrior Two, it's a pretty big stance. The back leg is straight. The back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. Your front foot is pointing straight ahead, and the heel of that front foot lines up with the back arch. Bend into the front knee so it lines up with that ankle. Your shoulders and hips are facing the long end of the mat. As you inhale, reach your arms out to a T. Check out both arms. Make sure that they're straight right out of the shoulders. And then turn your head so that you're looking over your left hand, which is your front hand. Nice. Shoulders and hips are still facing the long side of the mat. It's just the head that's turning here. And just take a look down at that front foot. Make sure that your knee is pointing more towards the second toe rather than your big toe. All right. Gently take the right hand and let it go down the back leg. Flip the left palm and reaching up and over, come on into Exalted Warrior. In this posture, the legs are still the same as they were for Warrior Two. You're bending into the front knee, back leg is straight. Your right hand is just gently touching the back leg. Your strength is in your core and in your legs here. The right hand is for balance and your left hand is up towards the sky. As you inhale, come back to Warrior Two. Nice. Bring your hands to your hips. Scoot your back foot in a little bit so that you're creating a shorter stance for a lunge. Left hand is going to go towards the block, the floor, or whatever you got. You're going to pour your weight into the left foot. See if you can get some space between your right foot and the mat as we move into half moon pose or Ardha Chandrasana. And in this posture, we're pouring our weight into the standing leg, which is the left leg on this side. You're using the left hand for some balance. If you're able to get the right leg off of the mat, flex the right foot to help straighten the leg out and create some engagement. And then if you're able to, maybe you can stack the right hip on top of the left. Maybe reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. And if that feels really steady for you, maybe you can even turn your head to look up towards your lifted hand. Steady breath. And remember, gentle in the body and in the mind. All right, as strong as you can be in the standing leg, make your way back, to warrior two. Kick off the back foot, come on up to the top of your mat, shake it out. Half moon pose gives us a really great opportunity to practice being gentle, especially if you're someone who's really ambitious and wants to really get this posture. So how can we be gentle with ourselves in warrior two if we're struggling with it? One is to recognize that this posture, just like yoga, just like life, is a journey and not a destination. So tonight we're being gentle, so see if you can do that posture in a gentle way. And be encouraging in your mind. Like, this is this crazy thing we're doing on a mat, balancing on one leg with the other leg up and the hand, and that's not your everyday thing. So really give yourself credit for trying it out. And luckily we have two sides, so we get to try the other side out before we start cooling down. So we'll go through that sequence again, really kind and gentle in the body and in the mind. Step your left foot back for warrior two on this side. Nice wide stance, back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Front heel aligns with the back arch as you bend into the front knee. Get nice and strong in those legs. Engaging through the shins, through the thighs, through the belly. Inhale, extend your arms up to a T. Let the shoulders be gentle on the back. Keep your shoulders and hips open towards the long end of your mat, and then turn your head to look over the right hand. Gently let the left fingertips go down the back leg. Flip the right palm, and then up and back for Exalted Warrior. Still bending into the front knee. Lots of space around the neck. Being really gentle here in the body. Inhale to come back to warrior two. All right, bring your hands to your hips. Scoot the back foot in a little bit so that you have a shorter stance. Notice I've got my block out on the floor ahead of my foot. You can use the block or the floor or something else. Take a look down. Right hand is going to go towards the block, the floor, your sofa. You're pouring your weight into the right foot as you try to get the left foot off of the mat. If you're able to lift the left foot, flex it to really get that left leg straight and sturdy. And if you want to go a little further, you can try stacking the hips, lifting the left fingertips, looking up towards the ceiling. But remember to be gentle here. So maybe that means that tonight you're not trying to look up towards the ceiling in honor of this idea of gentleness. Steady breath, gentle in the mind. If your hand is lifted, bring it back to the hip and gently make your way back to warrior two, even if it's a nice little short warrior two. Nice job. I hope that you're saying that to yourself as well. Whether you tried it out, whether you were like, I'm sitting this out tonight, good work. Bring your hands to your hips, kick off the back foot and come on up to the top of your mat. Nice job. Find mountain pose again. Close your eyes, stand up nice and tall. Feel your feet pressing into the floor, legs are engaged, belly is nice and strong. Shoulders are gently on the back. Inhale and float the fingertips up. A little bit of a back bend, open up through the throat, through the chest. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive forward, palms come together in prayer as you come to a forward fold. Make your way back to plank, top of a push-up. Be gentle here as you make your way back to plank. Drop the knees first if you need to. Nice and strong. Move your hips up and back to downward facing dog. If you need to widen the hands on the mat, you can do that. On an inhale, float your right leg up for three-legged dog. Do your best to keep the hips level here. And then bend the lifted knee and draw some circles with the knee to get some movement in the hip. So right knee is lifted and bent, right foot is flexed, and you're drawing circles with the knee. Reverse direction with the circles. And remember, creating a circle is it's a goal, it's an aspiration. So this may be, you may be creating a different shape than a circle, and that's okay if you are. Come to stillness with the leg, straightening it out one more time before you lower the right toes to the floor. Notice if there's any difference between the legs here. Notice how your hips feel. Inhale and slowly lift the left leg up, three-legged dog on the other side. Hips are level, left foot is flexed. Bend the lifted knee. And again, start to do some circles, getting into that left hip. And reverse directions, remembering to be gentle. And so maybe that means really going slowly on these circles. Maybe it means taking child's pose. Come to stillness, straighten the leg. Exhale to lower the toes back down to the mat and then drop the knees, coming onto all fours. Move your hips back to your heels and come on into child's pose. In this child's pose, get what you need. Maybe that means having your knees wide, letting your body fall in between them. Or maybe that means having your knees together and letting your torso rest on the knees tonight. Walk your hands in as the torso rises up and scoot around to a seat. Extend your right foot out and bring the sole of the left foot on the inner thigh for Janu Shirshasana, or extended head to knee pose. Now, we're being gentle here. So as you get into this posture, if you find, for example, this knee still isn't quite straight because you're still opening up the backs of your hamstrings tonight, maybe it's a nice place for you to put a blanket or a towel. If this knee is up rather high, some of us the knee is close to the floor, some of us the knee is up high, this can also be a great place for a blanket, also can be a nice place for a block. And this can be a little bit more gentle in this posture for some of us. So find a version of this posture that feels gentle and supported. Sit up nice and tall and turn your torso towards the extended leg. Leading with the chest, exhale and hinge forward. I've got my hands on the floor on either side of my calf. Trying to find a nice long spine, a nice long neck. Gentle, steady flow of breath. Inhale to sit upright. Bring your left fingertips behind you and your right hand on the bent knee. Notice my right foot is flexed. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall, and as you exhale, gently twist to the left. Your left hand is behind you on the floor, and that's just a little kickstand to help prop you up. So the hand should be relatively close to your body. As you begin to unwind, keep the right hand on the bent knee, but reach the left arm up overhead towards the extended foot. Use your breath and be really gentle here. Inhale to come back up. We'll switch sides. So extend the left leg out. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the inner thigh. And again, you can use any of those suggestions I made about propping up underneath the straightened leg or underneath the bent knee. This side might be totally different. Maybe you used props on the other side and you don't need to here. But just be gentle. As you sit up nice and tall, turn your torso towards the extended leg. As you exhale, lead with the chest, moving your hands as far up on either side of the leg as they'll go. With every inhale, lengthening the spine. With every exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, let the torso rise back up. This time we'll bring the right fingertips behind, just like a little kickstand, to the floor just behind the low back. Left hand comes to the bent knee. Left leg is flexed. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, twist to the right. Make sure you can breathe and that you're being gentle. Keeping your left hand on the bent knee, inhale and sweep the right arm up overhead towards the extended foot. And inhale to make your way back up. Nice job. All right. Come on up to the top of your mat. Feet are planted, knees are bent. Extend your arms straight out in front of you. Using your abdominal muscles, slowly lower yourself down to the floor. Stay strong in the belly, so think about laying each vertebra down as you lay down on the mat. Try to keep the soles of your feet connected to the floor. That's going to help engage in the abdominals. And then once you can't go any further, relax. Let the spine, shoulders, and head just rest on the floor. Keep your knees bent, feet are flat, and walk your feet in towards your body a little bit here. Arms are down by your sides with your palms face down. And we're preparing for bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. In bridge pose, your feet are hips distance apart and parallel. Your knees are bent, feet are firmly connected to the floor. Palms are face down with your arms down beside you. And you're looking up towards the ceiling. Press into your feet, strong and steady in the core and in the glutes. Lift your hips up. Lift your hips up as high as they'll go. Make sure you're staying really active in the legs. So if you find that your knees are trying to point outwards, see if you can bring them in and keep them pointing up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, gently lower your spine back down to the floor. This time, extend your arms up overhead. So reach up behind you so that the backs of your hands are connected to the floor behind you. We're still in the position for bridge pose with the bottom half of the body. So knees are bent and feet are on the floor. Keep your shoulders relaxed down on your back, even though your arms are up overhead. Press into the feet and lift the hips up once again for bridge pose. Exhale and gently lower the spine and hips back down to the mat. Release your arms down by your sides one more time. Palms are face down. Get active and engaged in the legs. Press into the feet and lift the hips up off the floor for bridge pose. And you can either stay here, or if you're feeling open through the shoulders and chest, you can roll your outer upper arms underneath you. Try clasping the hands, pressing the knuckles towards the heels. But only do this if you can do it gently. Like, for example, I just tried to get into that, and that didn't feel gentle on my short little arms tonight. But you do whatever feels best in your body. If your hands are clasped, unclasp them. And then everyone gently lower your spine and hips back down to the floor. Hug your knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side or front to back. Lower your feet down to the floor. Release your arms down by your sides. Feet or hips distance apart, just like we were for bridge pose. Press into the feet, lift the hips up just a little bit, and then scoot your hips over towards the left side of your mat. Let your knees fall over towards the right for a passive twist, and extend your arms out to a T. You can stay here or turn your head towards the left side. And if you haven't done so already, make sure the shoulders are rolled down on the back and that your palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Bring the knees back up to center. Bring your head back to center. Arms are down by your sides once again. Once again, press into the feet, lift the hips up. This time, scoot the hips over towards the right edge of the mat. Let your knees fall over towards the left. Extend your arms out to a T. And gently turn your head towards the right hand. Turn your head back to center. Bring your knees back to center. And then hug your knees in towards your chest one more time. Hands are on the shins. So knees are bent really deeply. You're going to take your peace fingers and grab a hold of your big toes. If that's not accessible to you, maybe just grabbing a hold of the shins with your hands might feel more gentle on your body tonight. We're coming into happy baby pose. So in happy baby, the knees are bent deeply. You're gently rocking from side to side. Your feet can be close together or they can be far apart. And again, if you're unable to make a connection with your hands and your feet, try holding on to the shins or the knees. And come to stillness. Lower your feet down to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees go wide for a reclined cobbler pose. Shoulders are gently nestled down on the back. Arms are down by your sides with your palms up. And this is one of those postures where, for some of us, it might be more gentle to have a block or blankets underneath the knees for some extra support. This is going to be our final posture before Shavasana. And if you'd like this to be your final resting posture of Shavasana, you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to take a more traditional version, I invite you to extend your legs straight out on the mat with your feet mat width apart. And remember, our motto today is about being gentle. So if it might feel better to roll up a blanket and put it underneath one or both of your knees here, that might be a good idea. Maybe putting a blanket on you or behind your neck might feel good. But in this traditional Shavasana, the legs are mat width apart. Your feet are relaxed off to the sides. Arms are down by your sides with your palms face down. Your eyes are closed or at a soft gaze. And here, in this final resting posture, you're just enjoying the firm support of the floor beneath you, the effects of this gentle practice in the mind, in the body, and in your spirit. See if you can relax the crown of your head, your scalp. Soften in between your eyebrows. Relax the jaw. Let the shoulders rest. Find softness down the torso. With every breath, releasing through the hips, the thighs and glutes. Relaxing through the shins and feet. Gently allow your breath to deepen. And just bring a little bit of movement back to your toes and your fingers. On an inhale, extend your arms up overhead as you reach your legs out nice and long. And then bring your knees in towards your chest as you roll onto your right side. Keeping your eyes closed and being gentle, make your way up to a seat, sitting up nice and tall like we did in the beginning. Nice long spine, rooted hips. When you find your seat, bring your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. I'm so pleased that you made the choice to come and practice with me for class tonight. I hope that you were able to experience being gentle with yourself and your mind and your body tonight, and that was a positive experience. Like I said, we've got lots of things going on, and we need to do all of these things, and some of them are hard, and some of them are great. So do them, but just really be gentle with yourself as we try to also be gentle with others. We're going to close by chanting the Sound of Ohm, and we'll chant it just one time. Take a full exhale, and a full inhale for Ohm. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each of you with great respect. Namaste. Thank you for coming and practicing. Thank you for being gentle with yourself. When you do that, it makes the world a better place. I look forward to seeing you next week. Be well.